Welcome back to the Stang Barstool podcast in the stable. I'm your host, Austin George, with Emilio Sanchez.
Hello.
And our special guest today is Coach Blue.
What's up?
Woo-hoo. All right, Coach Blue, we're going to ask you a few questions, and we're going to get into our top three.
All right. I guess I'll start us off, Coach Blue. Very simple. Let's just get it out the way. Tell us about yourself a little bit. What do you do? What do you teach?
Okay. Well, I'm a teacher at MCA. I'm a Mustang, big Mustang guy. Teach English, 10th grade and 12th grade. Have been doing that at MCA for, 5 years now. Coach cross country and track, trying to get some fast runners and all that good stuff.
Okay. Sweet.
All right. Love that.
So, when did you start teaching?
I originally started teaching, this is my 12th year, so I've been teaching full-time for 12 years. Did subbing for 2 years before that.
Yes, sir.
And then, so 5 years at MCA, but 12 years total. So.
Did you always teach English? Or?
Oh, man, my first year, I had to teach PE for this school, and I was the only PE teacher, and so I taught every grade, and, man, teaching like pre-K and first graders PE is a real struggle, man. It's chasing cats the whole time.
That's
very
grind.
patient. Very patient.
You need patience.
All right. Well, you talk about teaching for 12 years. It means you've had a lot of classes, right? A lot of different grades, a lot of different people. If you were to name one, and there's a lot of them, but if you can name maybe one or two, we'll give you two. What would you say were your favorite graduating classes?
Oh, man, this is a tough question because it's going to upset somebody, right?
That's always
because someone's not going to be the top number one.
Yeah.
So the one that kind of holds a special place for me will be my very first graduating class that I had. Because I started my first year, they were like 7th graders, and I taught them almost every single year for like the next 5 years, and they graduated. So that was at my first school. It was called Grace Classical. For MCA, same kind of idea. It probably is like the first one that I had. So my very first year, I think they were the sophomore class, and so they were like one of the first classes I had at MCA. And then they graduated a couple years ago. So that would be like the Malik Brock, the Ava Grace, Ruth Berry kind of class. Yeah, that was a pretty good class right there.
My sister's class.
Yeah.
Sweet. Class of 21.
Yeah, and who else? Had a lot of people in there.
No, a lot of kids in there. That was a legendary class.
All right. So I got a question for you. This is a deep question here.
A deep one, huh?
Yeah. So I want to know, I bet a lot of people want to know, how do you do it? How do you wake up every day? What motivates you to be a good teacher and just every day waking up and having to deal with kids and teach things? I feel like I'd get exhausted.
Oh man, get out of bed is hard sometimes, for sure. I like what I do. I enjoy English and actually teaching it. I enjoy the kids we have. I enjoy getting to coach sports. So it's all things that I like. Like, I like reading and I like sports. So those are things that I actually enjoy, even if I wasn't teaching, just outside of school. And so getting to do those things as a job makes it easy sometimes. And then, in all honesty, it's just like, it's y'all. It's the kids. We have pretty amazing kids here. And say, like, just being able to have the relationships with two guys like you that I, like, feel like we have a good tight bond. We get to do stupid things like this and hang out and outside of school. So that makes it really easy when you have kids that are enjoyable and we have the same interests. We can joke around and do stuff like this.
I like that. Yeah, that's the main thing. Just being happy with what you do.
Yeah, you don't want to go home and be like, man, I hated what I did for the last 10 hours. Like, you want to enjoy it, for sure.
For sure.
You talk about sports, and you used to be a coach. You coached a lot of different sports. Currently, you're coaching track and you're
cross country.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out double cross.
Oh yeah, I love cross country. A lot of the. Never mind. Okay. So
where was that going?
Nah, no way. It doesn't need to go there. But talking about Talking about sports. We got a lot of winter sports going on. You were at a lot of the volleyball games this year. You also go to a lot of the basketball games, and especially last year. But what do you think about this year's team? I don't know if you've gotten a chance to go see them yet with your busy schedule, but what are you thinking about them so far?
So I haven't had a chance to see them in person yet. Just got to see some stat lines, get to talk to some of the players in class. I see them going through film, so I get to see some of that stuff. Last year is going to be a hard year to top, right? We were 5A state champions last year in basketball and men. Yeah. So that's kind of a big thing to top. But I think we still got our leader, Mr. Bobby McBuckets, over there. raining down the threes, making some shots, and you got other seniors like Dave McMahon. So
Yeah.
I think district is I think in our grasp, and I think we should win district, right? I mean, I think that's
Yeah.
a good first goal, and then once you get into playoffs, it's just like how far can we go? I think a Final Four would be cool, but I mean, you never know. There's some good teams out there, but
Yeah.
I think winning district is a real deal for sure.
What are we now? 10-1.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, pretty good start to the season. Some big players. All right. So I have heard that you are single, Coach Blue.
This is true.
What does like the dating life look like? You going on any dates recently, or blind dates, Tinder? Like, what's it look like?
Man, I wish
only?
I spend all my time up here, you know, and then
Right.
when you're at school,
The kids first.
and then outside of that, my life is like going to church, and then everyone my age at church is married with like 3 kids. You don't really meet a whole lot of single women, so I need some help there. I need those friends that I have outside of school to be like, oh yeah, I know this person, because I don't know anybody.
You'll find the one. You'll find
You'll
the one.
find it.
So if there's any women out there, I'm talking to the podcast here, ages 30 to 65.
Wait, let's adjust that just a little bit. Let's say like 28 to like 35. That's a good range
Okay.
right there. You
Well,
know?
you got to widen the range out a little bit. You can't.
Do you have to?
Beggars can't be choosers.
Oh, I mean, they can. They just might starve to death.
All right. So what is it? 28 to 35. Mr. Blue is single. So hit him up. We'll put his socials in the description down below. Drop him a follow. TB Blue on Instagram. He's super tall and super strong.
Yeah, he's not super tall. Yeah.
Get out of here! Get out of here! The live studio audience is getting a little wild. with
Speaking of the studio audience, this podcast is brought to you by Nene's MacBook charger.
man,
I
shut
was,
up, man. Quit
I
trying.
was running a little low, and Nene hooked me up.
Yeah. Thank you, Nathan Roach.
All right, next question here for you.
So Coach Blue, I know I have your number. I do tend to email you more though, just out of it's a good way to go about
Respect.
things. Yeah, a good way to go about things.
It is.
My question to you is, and I feel like I do a good job of it, but I know that other kids might not. What do you feel, or how do you feel about kids that use like bad grammar or like misspell things in those emails that they send you?
I think there's a line, like if you're emailing me to like ask for like a favor, like an extension or a question, and you want something from me as a teacher, it better be good grammar. Like if you're not using good grammar and you're asking something from me, that's going to be a hard sell.
Yeah.
Now, if we're just communicating, if it's just like in the cross country group chat and jokes going on, yeah, I don't really care too much about that. But yeah, if you're asking for me something as a teacher, you better start with good grammar there.
You send a lot of memes in the cross country group chat, Coach?
I send a couple every now and then. Coach
Oh.
McKellar is really the meme god in that one for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, so going off of that, and also a previous question about how do you do it, why are you such just like a rule follower, just like have to follow every rule? Like what motivates you to do that?
So it's just in my nature. I don't like to get in trouble.
Right.
I'm what some call I'm a self-punisher. So when I do something wrong, like I get in my own head and I bother myself. And then if someone else has to do that, like that, I just don't like that feeling. So it wasn't like I had friends that they wanted to do different things, and I didn't want to not do those things. It's just I didn't want to get in trouble.
Right.
I wanted to be able to keep doing the things that I liked, and so to play football and do all those things, you had to follow the rules. If you didn't, then you didn't get to do those things. So I valued being able to play football and be able to do what I want instead of getting in trouble for dumb things and
It's
having
a
to take the
it's
blame.
a risk reward thing.
It is a risk reward thing.
Do you like having that trait where you get down on yourself, or does that hurt you sometimes?
I mean, it is. You kind of get down yourself that you can dig yourself a hole, but I think it's a pretty good thing. It kind of keeps me accountable for the most part.
For sure.
I love that. Love that.
For sure. All right, let's get into the more fun part of the podcast here. We're gonna go with our top threes.
Okay, top threes.
We're gonna start with top 3 songs. And Amelia, you want to start, or are you still thinking?
That's a tough question
I
right there.
think I can give one right now. Or actually,
So your 3
I know.
spot?
no, mine aren't gonna go in any particular order.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with a song that's very it hits home to me. It's a very emotional song for me. Godspeed by what is it? Zach Bryan? No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Zach Bryan.
Godspeed by Zach Bryan.
It's a great song.
That song's I love that song. It has a lot of memories with it. Yeah, a lot of tears, a lot of smiles. So
It's a good song.
it's a great song.
You or me, AG?
You go ahead.
Well, so I was gonna give my third one. Like, this is a hard question because there's a bunch of songs out there, but We're going to go with the Spotify Wrapped that just came out. So we're going to go with their number one song, I'll say is my number 3. Just a little fun and joke here is apparently I listened to Taylor Swift's Cruel Summer a whole lot this past year.
Big T-Swift guy.
I am kind of a Swiftie, so we'll put that at the number 3 spot for sure. That's
every guy has a little soft spot in there for T Swift,
Yeah.
and I like it. I like it in number 3 spot. For my number 3, I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna dive into like the genre realm here. I got 3 different genres for me. I'm gonna go "Bound to" by Kanye West.
Okay, so that's your rap song then.
Yeah, that'll be my rap song.
Okay.
That's good. I like that.
I don't really like. My favorite part is the what is it, like the beginning and like the not necessarily the rapping verses, but like the
Okay.
chorus and stuff. I
Okay.
like that.
Some of the melodies too.
Yeah, the melodies.
Okay.
I think it's a good song. It makes me happy, makes me smile, gets me in a good mood. Alrighty, your number 2 spot.
Ooh, I guess I'll go with the rap song. That's tough. That's real tough. I'm gonna go with a song y'all might not know. It's called it's "Lord Knows" by Drake featuring Rick Ross. It's a great song. Really like the instrumental for that song. That's probably the most of it, and it's just something I've grown up listening. So
So is that like recent Drake or is that early
no,
Drake?
that's middle prime Drake.
Okay. So prime Drake, yeah, because Drake's kind of my understanding. I mean, I don't listen to Drake, but I've heard he's kind of fallen off recently, right? Is that
That new album was great.
Well,
Okay.
he fell off and then he came back.
came
with
back.
a great
Okay.
album.
Great
He's like 38 now and he's still like rapping. He's
I
like
love
Tom
it.
Brady. That's crazy. All right, your number 2.
So again, this is just hard. I had to go like classic. I was gonna say Beatles, just because I don't think I could make a list like this without having the Beatles. So there's a song called "Happiness Is a Warm Gun," which is kind of a depressing title, but the song has like
a little metaphor in there.
yeah, it's kind of more of like their rock when they were a little bit heavier and they like not really the pop stuff, so they added more heavy guitar to it. It's a solid Beatles song for sure.
I like it. Beatles got to be in there, especially for someone like you.
Yeah,
Big English
So
guy.
what-
Older guy, you grew up with the Beatles, did you not?
no, that's well before my time.
Okay,
I think.
I'm my bad on that. All right, my number 2 is gonna be it's gonna be more of like a gospel song, but it also gets you going. It's a hype song. "Father Stretch" by the Sunday Service Choir. There's a Kanye song called "Father Stretch My Hands," and this song is like the gospel version of that. It's like the choir version, like the vocals. That just like makes you feel like you're floating, and I love that about that song. And I listen to it whenever I can, every morning almost.
It's in your drive to school playlist.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I love it.
Okay, so I sadly could not pick a third, so I'm gonna just give you 2 quick ones. It's a tie, so I'm gonna give you "For Your Eyes Only" by J. Cole, and I'm gonna give you shout out Nick McMahon for this song. He put me onto this. "Love" by Coetzel and Parker McCall.
Oh my gosh.
So those 2 are tied. Yeah, there you go. I couldn't pick a third, so
That's a great song.
Okay, so I guess I'm the old man here. Since y'all are doing all this your music, I still had to go to like historic stuff because I think it probably is like one of the greatest songs of all time. I have to say Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody. Like I don't think you get a much better song than that. It has everything in a song. It's got some rock. It's got some
It's
you know
good to
some
put it-
hard moments where you get to think about the emotions and all that stuff. But it's an amazing song for sure.
I feel like that's a good song to put in the top 3 of like all time.
Oh yeah,
It's just perfect.
yeah. It is a really good song.
I'm gonna
It's
go.
quite long though, so you got to be ready for a listen for sure.
I'm gonna go with my next pick. It's called "Burn, Burn, Burn" by Zach Bryan, and that's a newer song. It starts off chill, and then towards the end, he just starts yelling into the microphone, and it gets you going. I like that song a lot.
Okay, so y'all both had a Zach Bryan song in your top 3.
Yeah,
then.
Zach
Okay,
Bryan,
okay.
number 1 artist for me.
It's a
If we're
big
going into that,
football loves.
So I need to look up some Zach Bryan then.
Oh,
Okay.
for sure,
Okay.
for sure.
Get through
Great
get
artist.
through his first
Great
2
songwriter.
albums.
Okay, so what's the next top 3 here? Where we at?
Oh, movies.
Top 3 movies.
Man, do y'all do the same? Y'all do music and movies every week, or do y'all
No,
have different top
we've
3?
done
So you,
different.
so you haven't done music and movies yet.
We haven't.
Okay, so y'all these are really hard. So y'all saved the hard ones for me
you.
in here.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's so many good.
Big into the literature.
All right.
You can just name all 3.
So I'm gonna give my honorable mention because I didn't have a comedy in my top 3, so I was like I had to at least give one comedy. So this is honorable mention.
Mm-hmm.
So favorite comedy of all time is probably Dumb and Dumber. I don't know if you've seen it. Classic, man. It's stupid the whole time, but it makes me laugh. All right, so top 3. Number 3, I think I'd have to say the first Matrix. The second and third one are trash, but the first one was groundbreaking. You know, cool sci-fi, a lot of action. Number 2, let's go Braveheart. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Like, again, you know, talking about the freedom of the Scots from the English, you know, and so they're trying to freedom.
Okay.
You have this
Big
time period of like dude
Patriotic.
cutting off arms and legs. It's awesome. Mel Gibson, probably his best movie ever. And then number 1, I think, has to be Fight Club. You know, just the twist ending to that, the all the crazy things that you could talk about that movie. It's
No,
just
you don't talk about. You don't talk about it.
yeah, exactly. You don't talk about
You
it.
don't talk
Sorry,
about it.
so I should have brought it up. Yeah,
Yeah, you don't talk
first
about
rule
it.
of Fight Club: you don't talk about Fight Club. So, but there's my top 3.
That's a good top 3. I don't
great
mind
top
it. I don't
three.
mind it. I've been wanting to watch Braveheart for a while. I never got into it. So.
Yeah, you need to. It's pretty intense at times, man.
All right, I'll give a top 3. So my first one, my dad really got me into like old gangster movies when I was probably like a junior or junior sophomore. So this one is because my dad. It's Goodfellas. That's a really good movie for
Solid
my
gangster
opinion.
movie for sure. Yeah.
My second one, probably not school appropriate, so we're just gonna brush over it real quick. Is The Wolf of Wall Street, and then
Leo.
Yeah, good, that's a great Leo movie. And then my third was Goodfellas, Wolf of Wall Street. I had one more. I think it was. You might have watched this. I don't think he's watched it. You might have watched it. It's called 12 Angry Men. It's a great movie.
Oh,
Yeah, you mentioned it.
is
It's
that the one in
court
the
movie, right?
court?
Yeah.
Isn't
So-
it from like 1960s?
It's black and white,
It's
right?
black,
yeah.
black and white. So
Take it back.
that is a great movie in my opinion. I love the mental aspect of it. I feel like I'm forgetting a movie, but I'm happy with that.
That's a good 3 right there. It's a
Yeah.
good 3.
All right, we'll get into my top 3. I also dove into the genre realm here. 3 different genres for my top 3. It's called movie genres, right? Different like comedy,
Yeah,
thriller.
genre,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So my comedy one, so I guess my 3 spot is Step Brothers.
Yeah,
He
it's
gets-
pretty solid.
He gives you a great laugh. My second one is like more of a thriller, kind of horror, not really. Get Out.
So do you like the other Jordan Peele movies or just that one?
That's that and Us. I don't know.
I like
Okay.
the new Nope. What was it? Nope.
I've heard
I didn't-
Nope
I
is-
didn't like that
I've
one.
heard
You
Nope
didn't
is
like
very
it?
good.
I liked it.
I
It was
didn't like it.
entertaining for me. So
I'm not into the horror though, so I need to watch them. But
It was very cinematic, but
Yeah.
just not like.
I think it was funny because it's true. Like the reasoning behind that movie.
I don't really
is,
like the ending.
Yeah, the ending was kind of rough. That
But,
movie could have been saved with a better ending.
I see your number 1 written out there, so I'm gonna wait for you to say it. But I'm kind of jealous. I wish I would have added this one to my top 3 because
Oh, it's
this is a fantastic movie. So
My dad actually put me on this movie. It's called Shawshank Redemption.
yeah,
It's basically a jailbreak. It's I guess, what genre would you call that?
just like drama, I guess. You know,
Drama,
Yeah.
feel good at the end, maybe?
Yeah, him getting out.
No
yeah.
spoilers.
Yeah.
He doesn't get out.
Oh, man, this movie's from like the 90s. If we're spoiling it for somebody, I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right, I think that wraps up our top 3. And we're going to throw a curveball at you, Coach Blue.
Okay, we have. It's not on the list here, so I don't know.
It's not. It's not. Do you think that you could do your top 3 students of all time?
I mean, I could. I probably have like a list I could compile, but I think that is problematic for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
I respect it.
I don't think that's worth saying on air to be recorded and then brought back to me. Who knows how many times over
Right.
and over again? Yeah.
Right.
So we'll just
No, completely understand.
we'll say it's there. Any teacher that tells you they don't have favorites is lying. They do, but yeah, I'm not going to give
I'll
them
give
to
an
you.
inside scoop on the teachers.
Yeah, every teacher has favorites.
What is? So we got probably like a minute or 2 until the class rushes in. What are some like about teachers that like kids say that y'all like have to like say isn't true, but it is? You know what I mean? Like,
Is there anything? Is there
So you're
any
asking me
inside
for
scoop?
like
Yeah.
the dirt on teachers?
No. The secret talk that y'all do, like.
do y'all talk about students a lot?
Absolutely.
But like bad about them?
I mean, we talk good and bad.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You know, it's just like anything else. It's
Not
like,
trying to
you
get you
know,
in trouble here.
yesterday, you know, you talk to teachers like, yeah, man, that student did this in class, and it made me want to like go crazy.
Yeah.
But
I've been that student.
hey, y'all know kids do dumb things, and
I,
you know
I do them things.
You do.
in your class.
that has happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have AG this year, so he's probably doing dumb things, just not in my class. Right
Oh,
now, so,
you
know.
literally told me I've matured so much.
You
through
did.
class. I
You have grown up quite a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. That really motivated me to be a better person.
I'm glad that I could help.
Yeah, Coach Blue motivates people to be better. You know,
Great motivator.
That's why we bring him on the podcast.
Well, I'm happy to be here. This was fun.
Yeah.
This was fun.
You have anything else to say to the Mustangs, Mustang Nation?
Oh no, is this going out today? Is this being posted today?
We're gonna try to get it out today.
So what's that say? So let's say good luck to the soccer teams that are playing today.
Okay.
Hopefully they dominate. Got a boys game right after school, girls game on the Smurf turf at Parrish. My brother beats or teaches at Parrish, so I'd love to go over there and beat them. So let's get that done today. Absolutely.
What's the score prediction? You used to go to Prestonwood. Your brother teaches at Parrish.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What's the score prediction for Friday's state championship?
Okay, yeah.
for
So
football?
Prestonwood is playing Parrish in the TAPS Division I state championship. I don't think it's going to be close. Unfortunately, I like Prestonwood. They're really good, but I think Parrish is going to win by at least 3 touchdowns. Parrish is really, really good.
Yeah.
And they're going for their 4th straight state
They're a
title. So
powerhouse.
that's pretty.
Haven't they been playing
impressive.
like public school teams all like?
Yeah, they play
pre-district,
teams like
non-district?
South Oak Cliff. Like, so if you're
Oh,
playing
shit.
South Oak Cliff and you almost beat South Oak Cliff, you're probably pretty good. Yeah, they beat some really good teams. They beat Aledo, who was like in the state championship last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they're good.
They're
so
dogs.
yeah.
Yeah,
All
I'd
right.
love to see that.
All right,
Gentlemen?
Mustangs. I think this wraps up the podcast. Thank you to Coach Blue for coming on.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
Can we
it.
give it up for Coach Blue?
Yeah.
Deuces.